Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. I'm going to talk a little soft because I don't have a voice. My voice is leaving. I've been having a scratchy throat here lately, so I didn't make a video yesterday. But there's going to be a video in this box. The Core 4 did a video on yesterday, and I condensed it down to about 14 minutes. Okay, so we got Amazon and Apple. All right, Apple at the time of recording this is doing their earnings call. And as we know, since COVID, Apple has not did a forward guidance, though they kind of do. All right. But let's hope that they say something positive. The stock is mostly flat now. It was down. We'll look at it before we end this by 0.5%. So let's go into Amazon first. Here we go with Amazon. As we can see, the Seattle-based company earned 65 cents a share on sales of 134.4 billion in the June quarter, right? Analysts polled by FactSet had expected Amazon earnings to be 35 cents. So they expected 35 cents a share based on 131.5 billion, but they actually got 65 cents a share on 134 billion, right? So this number is higher than this, and this number is higher than this for those of you that are new. Okay. So now, Amazon lost 20 cents a share on sales of 121. I'm sorry. In the year earlier, they lost 20 cents, okay, per share. All right. So that is an increase, all right? So as we could see, last year they lost 20 cents a share on sales of 121.2 billion. This year they gained 65 cents a share off of 134.4 billion, all right? Okay, so let's go in further. For the current quarter, Amazon forecasts operating income of 7 billion on sales of 140.5 billion. That's based on the midpoint of its guidance. Analyst has been calling for operation income of 5.5 billion on sales of 138 billion. All right? We want these numbers to be higher than these numbers, okay? All right. So today's company's cloud computing unit, Amazon Web Services, saw revenue increase by 12% year over year to 22.1 billion in the second quarter. That was a little slower. I'm putting a little in there, slower than the 16% growth in the first quarter, but topped estimates for 10% growth, right? So that's where we are with Amazon. Now I want you guys to actually look at the Amazon earnings report.
Sales up 12% year over year to $22.1 billion. Is that the most important number here, or is there something else, margins perhaps you're looking at? Also, it looks like the operating income that they're guiding to between 5.5 and 8.5 billion should reassure some people who might have wondered if we're going through an investment cycle here.
Yeah, if you look at the way Amazon and Apple and Microsoft and all the big heavyweights manage the street, it's really kind of like a symphony. They manage it so well and manage expectations to where when they produce, unless something really goes wrong for them, they outperform and the stock gets a nice pop. The thing that's interesting to me about the initial reaction, which is so strong because clearly everybody likes the numbers, is what's the guidance going to look like? I mean, Qualcomm was pretty stagnant until
So let's just look at where Amazon is right now. As you can see, Amazon after hours, let's see what time it is here. So it is 5:25 Eastern Standard Time. As you can see, Amazon is now up almost 8% right now. We are going to see what they say by the end of their earnings, but I don't see them saying too much that could bring this down. This was a shock. That's why I didn't play it. I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought it would be the other way. I thought Apple would pop up and I thought that Amazon would pop down. It was just a guess. And so that's why I do what? Buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm out of these plays before earnings. All right. But I did, as you guys know, hold a little Apple and it's not as good as Amazon. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple, on the other hand, is down. It's down by about 2%, which is not bad. The earnings call is going on right now. And as you guys know, ever since COVID, Apple is not giving forward guidance, but they kind of do. Now, we know that the new iPhone is going to be out next month, and we're expecting something big in the area of AI for Apple. All right. And so I'm good. I'd set my stop loss and I'm good. This could turn around if they say something positive. The earnings call is yet going on. Let's listen and let's look at the numbers from Apple now.
Results from our Steve Kovac. Steve?
Hey there, John. Yeah, it's a beat on the top and bottom lines for Apple. Let's go over the numbers here. EPS coming in at $1.26. That's versus the $1.19 expected by the street. Revenues a beat as well, $81.8 billion versus the $81.69 billion expected. That's down about 1% year on year, by the way, marking the third down quarter in a row for Apple. iPhone revenues, though, a slight miss here, $39.67 billion versus the $39.91 billion estimated. And services setting a new record. Apple here it's a beat on $21.21 billion versus the $20.76 billion expected. That's up 8% year on year. So seeing a resurgence in growth there, John, on services, and no guidance as we've seen from Apple throughout the entire pandemic, but expecting some color on the call as to outlook for the current quarter. And looks like shares are up fractionally here about 1%.
All right.
So they went up 1%, but as we could see by now, they are down more than 2% and falling. So let's get all of this information. It's going to take a little while. Now, this does not mean that this is where it's going to end up by tomorrow morning. So as we could see, it is down. Let's look at some of their numbers. Here's the report from Apple's website themselves. You can actually go to these companies and check out their earnings at the same time that these news media are getting them. All right. So as we can see, just like you heard from the gentleman, Apple announced today fiscal results for its fiscal 2023 third quarterly ending July 1st, 2023. The company posted quarterly revenue of $81.8 billion, down 1% year over year, right? And the quarterly earnings per diluted share is 1.26. That's up by 5% year over year. They go on to talk blah, 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 blah. Let's get to the numbers. During the quarter, we generated very strong operating cash flow of $26 billion, returned over $24 billion to our shareholders. All right. We like that, don't we? Yep. All right. Apple's board of directors has declared a cash dividend of 0.24 cent per share of the company's common stock. They talk about the dividends and the earnings call, which is going on right now. Their services are up. Amazon is into a lot of services. And so what's expected, the big news is supposed to be in AI. All right. And so we will see. And the new iPhone, which is the biggest chunk of their sales. I believe that in the S&P 500, Apple represents 8% of the overall S&P 500. So it is heavily weighted. OK, so it's going to dictate to a portion what the overall stock market is going to do tomorrow. Hey guys, if you don't have the Moomoo app, you literally can go in and listen to the earnings. I'm going to show you right away. Of course, you can get your 16 up to 16 free stock, and you're going to get free stock just by depositing $100. Now let's see. Here in the app, this is my app on the phone. You could see that Apple's earning and Amazon's earning, both of the earnings call are going on. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen into Apple.
Very regularly, and then we replace them with new hedges at the new spot rate. So The impact that we're going to have on revenue and cost will depend on what spot rates are at
just
different
arrow
points in
back
time.
and hit that X, and then we could go into Amazon.
Reported revenue, which is another proof point that our focus on price selection and convenience.
So if you are one of those that like to watch and listen to paint dry, you can actually listen into these earnings. I just want you guys to see, just make sure, that you are in the bottom, go to markets, and you see earnings calendars, okay? And then you can go and see what other earnings are coming. There's a lot of tools in this that pays for itself. And I just saw an article through Moomoo that kind of gave a little insight into Amazon. I wish I had really looked into it. I probably would have bought a little bit of it. But as you can see, you get all of these updates, just about everything. And then if you want to just look at the earnings and go right to it, look at that. Right there, Amazon. Boom, there it is. Right? Without all of the hoopla. All right, we're going to leave it right there, good people. Pray that I have a voice tomorrow. I'll only do one video tomorrow. And make sure you check out the abbreviated video that's going to come in this box. I mean, abbreviated. It is a condensed video from the Live with the Core 4. Just the hot stock. Not just these two that had earnings today, but even more stock, SoFi, Mara, Riot, and the overall market. So make sure that you guys check all of that out. All right. We will see you tomorrow. Make sure you hit the like button. The likes was a little low on the last one. And if you're new to the page, hit the like and subscribe and notification bell and check out all the links below. We got a class that teaches you how to make money. And then we have tools in Moomoo that actually help you to make money. We'll see you tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, and learn.